So hey, welcome to Dances with Film. How exciting that your film is going to be showcased here tonight.
It's very exciting. We always knew that the dream would be a world premiere, and the fact that it's happening here in LA in the Chinese theater, the home of movies, it's a dream come true. I'm very excited.
Now, why did you want to do this project, Granny itself? You wanted to direct, and I mean, it's a very interesting project.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Look, I've always loved Exploitation films. Australia has this kind of hidden history of really out there, crazy exploitation style films. So a friend of mine, Dean Burr, we both used to work in projection. And while we're up there working in projection for these long shifts, we would just chat about all these crazy ideas we would have for fake exploitation Australian films. And one of the ideas we had was Granny. The idea about this grandma that went on a murderous rampage, through a quiet suburban town. And so, years after, when I was, talking to my friend Tel Benjamin, who's the lead actor in Granny, and I was having a chat with him about wanting to make a film, I said, you know what, this is a bit left of field, but how would you feel about being the final girl in a schlocky horror film? Yeah. And he said, fuck yes, absolutely, that's what I want. And so, we got Dean back in and we wrote it and we put it together, and it just seemed like a really great opportunity to make something that had kind of always been a dream, but had always been something that maybe was a little bit too much left of field, that we needed to get the right team on board to make something this crazy happen.
Mm-hmm. What are some of these famous Aussie exploitation films, or some of your favorites?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, you think back at the ones that sort of broke out and made it to the international sort of market. Mad Max is kind of that sort of foundational Ozploitation film. There was Escape 2000, or it was called in Australia Turkey Shoot. Mm-hmm. Razorback was a famous one. Patrick, all of these really kind of kind of absurd kind of concepts that was just done with so much sincerity and so much love, of people just wanting to make something that was going to entertain on very, very little money. I mean, Mad Max is the perfect example that, it's about this, it's car chases in outback Australia, and now it's a massive franchise, just escapist, fun films for the sake of entertainment.
And so what about this Granny film? I mean, what are some of the cool things that we get to do here?
Okay, well, I don't want to ruin too much for you, but the basic premise is that we've got a grandma, and she's unhappy about something, so she goes on a bit of a cheeky murderous rampage. She has some tools at her disposal, some which are very appropriate for a grandma, some less so. Look, the question is Donnie, her grandson, going to survive or not? I think we approached it in the writing like a car chase. So we said, look, we want to make a short film. It's going to be 14 minutes long. Rather than spending all this time on, the standard story structure of having a long, intro and building up, we just want to we want from the very second the film starts for it to feel like you're in the middle of the third act, that you're watching this sort of crazy gun-ho car chase. And so it's hopefully a thrill ride for people from beginning to end.
And talk about the main lead of, obviously, the Granny herself.
Yeah, so Maggie Dense is kind of Australian royalty. We were very, very lucky to get her. She started in Wake and Fright, and has since gone on to be a bit of an Aussie icon in terms of sort of the films she's been on, and a lot of theatre work as well. Very, very well respected, serious actor. Mm-hmm. So we were very, very lucky to get her and to convince her to kind of be this hilarious, terrifying Freddy Krueger-like, horror lady. We didn't expect her to say yes, and we were very, very surprised, delightfully surprised, when she turned out to be a massive Ozploitation horror fan and wanted to do this project.
And how proud of you of being an Aussie film representing here in Hollywood today?
Stoked. I mean, we're Aussie filmmakers, and we want to make films that feel like Australian films, and we're so proud of this kind of forgotten part of Australian film history. People like, Tarantino talk about how influential, a lot of these Ozploitation films were on his filmmaking. Scorsese's favourite film of all time is Wake and Fright, kind of a sort of part of that that Exploitation canon. And so, but back home in Australia, there tends to be this vibe of, that's a little bit. It's not culturally, it's not high culture. It's a bit lowbrow. So there's not necessarily the need to embrace it the way that I feel we should. So for us to be able to make an Exploitation film that is an ode or a celebration of those kind of films, and then to bring it here and show it at the Chinese theatre it's amazing.
And after all this, where to now?
Well, we can't say just yet, but this is just the beginning of a festival run, and there's a couple other festivals that are currently locked in that are yet to be announced, which is very exciting. But really, Joel Hagen, our producer, was here last year with his film One Less God, which was a feature film that's done very, very well, and we're partnered on this project, but also with some other projects as well. So we've hoping to get some features up in the next couple of years. So that's our main focus right now, to move from shorts and to start looking at long form.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
you
so
for
much.
speaking with me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.